For the third time in 3 years, the St. Joseph Knights girls basketball team is in a CIF final, and they're facing a familiar foe. Hello, everyone. Brad Memberto along with Irvin Geiger, and we are high at the top of the Anaheim Arena for the CIF Southern Section Division III AA championship game between the number 1 seed St. Joseph Knights and the number 2 Sarah Cavaliers. Now, Irvin, both of these teams faced each other 2 years ago when St. Joe won their first CIF championship down at Mater Dei High School, a little bigger venue this time. And a nice contingent of fans came down to see it, and we know there's a nice contingent of fans listening. And I guess the first thing we need to talk about as we talk about this game is the road to get here. The Sarah Cavaliers were ranked number 2. They were the second-place team in the Delray League. They won the first game 76-27 over Claremont, 64-54 over Gar, 69-61 over Muir, and then in the semifinals, a little controversial victory, 82-70 in overtime against Diamond Ranch. And Irv, a little controversy in that game, and a lot of people have been crying foul.
Well, Brad, you can understand why. When you get to the point of being in the playoffs, you've got to have the scoreboard has got to be correct. The scorekeepers have got to be on the same page. What happened was that one of the girls for Sarah supposedly fouled out. And so consequently she left. She actually even took off her jersey sitting on the bench. Somebody came down to the stands, talked to the official scorekeeper because it was a neutral court and Sarah was considered the home team. That book counted. And then the guy changed, or the person changed their mind and said, listen, I made a mistake. She only had 3 fouls. She went on to hit a 3-pointer and then scored 10 points in overtime. According to Diamond Bar, they have it on record, on video, that she was called for 5 fouls throughout the game.
Now, the game was protested by Diamond Ranch, and it was turned down. It was denied by the CIF, which means the Sarah Cavaliers are here, and they're looking forward to facing a team in St. Joseph, a team that defeated them 2 years ago, back in the days when they had Rizabos and McPike on the team. But there are some familiar faces from both teams that are on the squads that were on the squads a couple years ago when St. Joseph won the championship. And that number 1 scorer for Sarah is a senior now, and that's Bria Richardson, number 1, a very fast senior at 5'9". And she's got a little revenge on her mind coming into tonight's game.
Well, you know, she's leading the team on scoring at 15.2 points a game. She's getting better than 7 rebounds, almost 6 assists, and 5 steals a game. The young girl is leading 4 out of the 5 major categories for Sarah. And yeah, you're right. She wants to come back. She wants to end her career with victory over St. Joe's.
But there's some St. Joseph Knights who do not want to allow that to happen and are looking, as we said, for their 3rd championship in a row. Let's talk about the road in the Division III AA brackets for the St. Joseph Knights. They opened up against Westlake. Westlake was a Miramonte at-large team. St. Joe defeated them by a score of 59-24. They next played Hart High School, down at Hart High School in Newhall, and had a 68-59 victory. Game was a little closer score-wise than it actually was, as St. Joe had a big lead late. Then St. Joseph took on Torrance. Torrance a little undermanned in their game as far as their height. They only had 1 girl over 5'9", and St. Joe ran away with that, taking an early lead and won 68-52. And then in their last game against Sonora, defeated Sonora by a score of, or I should say Torrance's score was 75-39. And then they took on Sonora in the semifinals and got a big lead early and cruised to a 60-40 victory. So the St. Joseph Knights have kind of cruised through this Division III AA as the number 1 seed as they go against the number 2 seed, Sarah.
Yeah, well, you know, being the number 1 seed, they're also ranked number 23 in California, where Sarah's ranked number 33. You expect teams of this caliber to get to this position. They're doing it. They're just following the script how it was written, Brad.
And as we speak here, they're just at the end of the game. This is the 4 AA championship in girls, and St. Anthony's is defeating Oaks Christian by a score of 52-41. And one thing we should mention with about 3 seconds left here before St. Joseph and Sarah takes the court is Ed Torres said this the other night when he was talking to Elliot Stern, our sports editor, and he mentioned that the playoff games always get a little tighter defensively. and it's going to be a key tonight in the finals here for defensively. He's expecting a low-scoring game, and this has been a fairly low-scoring game here. In the middle of the fourth quarter, Oaks Christian had 29 points, and they ended with a three-pointer there at the buzzer to make it 53-44. But a low-scoring game is what Coach Ed Torres is expecting. Both teams, Sarah and St. Joe, are averaging a little over 60 points a game. But I'm not sure if we're going to see 60 points tonight.
Well, both teams like to run. They're going to be pressing from one end of the court to the other. They're averaging close to 15 steals a game. If there's a big score, it's going to be somebody is just not handling the ball very well. So far this year, both sides have handled the ball extremely well. There's only, 10 losses between the two of them. And if you look at St. Joe's, without Allison Beebe, they're really 24-2.
Yeah, right. She missed the first weekend when they had a big tournament up north. And they started off the season 0-3. And as you said, they're 24-5 now. And they rolled through the Pac-7 League their first year in the Pac-7 with a 12-0 record. As you said, Sarah, if it wasn't for Bishop Montgomery, Sarah would be a lot better too. There's 26-5, but 3 of those losses were to Bishop Montgomery.
Yeah, they're in a very strong league down in the Del Playa League, is it? And they've done exceptionally well this year, as they're going to be presenting medals to the winners of this last particular game. But Sarah is going to come out. They're a good-sized team. Their center is, I think 6'2", where BB is 6'3" for St. Joe's. They're going to try to run the ball. You got to rebound. You got to hold on to the ball. Whoever covers the ball the best is the one that's going to win tonight's game, Brad.
Exactly. And we're going to break down Sarah Cavaliers a little bit after we take a quick break. And when we come back, we will talk about some of the individual players on Sarah. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on Santa Maria Times TV. And welcome back, everyone. Brad Memberto along with Irvin Kiger. Just a reminder that the game is also being brought to you in part by Dr. Carolyn Baldivias from Park Avenue Smiles, located at 111 East Park Avenue in Santa Maria. Now, Dr. Baldivias is born and raised in Santa Maria, and she's a St. Joe alumni and a proud sponsor of this game tonight. Specializes in family dentistry with emphasis on cosmetic dentistry. Has been practicing for over 15 years. Patients say their office feels like home. Go to visit them online, drbaldivias.com, or call them at 739-2224. Park Avenue Smiles and Dr. Carolyn Baldivias. And it is time now for the introductions. 3 officials and a paid-for statistician. Paid for by the CIF.
For people who love to quilt, it's part of their life.
Yeah.
And
there's no home officialing. No home scoring.
That is correct. And it's a shame. There's that little cloud over Sarah as well, as far as this is concerned. The CIF ruled that they couldn't overturn it, and Sarah's here. Now, Sarah, as we said, 26-5 on the season. They are a deserving team.
Yes. Yeah, and you do have to feel for Diamond Bar because they not only lose an opportunity to play for the championship, they lose that opportunity to go to state finals.
Yes, the teams, the finalists in most of the categories are the teams that are they are the teams that get into the state tournament, which starts next Monday or Tuesday. And first and second place teams. Usually the first place teams are at home, second place team. But they also have wild cards. They have some at-large openings, and Diamond Ranch is hoping they get that. They're introducing the non-starters for St. Joseph right now, the designated visiting team. And now they're going to introduce the non-starters for the Sarah Cavaliers. And as we said, the Cavaliers 62.3 points a game. St. Joe 62.6. So if you look at the stats, both teams are pretty even. As you say, they score best in the first quarter, the third quarter, both teams. So it'll be a very interesting matchup. It'll be the first team, I think, in the playoffs that has consistent height and speed to be able to match up against St. Joseph.
When you look at the two records, Brad, you know that both schools have not played from behind very much.
That's true.
And so consequently, that might be new to somebody. How are you going to adjust to that, and what kind of adjustments are you going to make?
Now they're introducing the starting lineup, so we'll start with St. Joseph Knights, and they're led by Kelsey English, 5'7", senior. Bria Richardson, these two met 2 years ago. She's a 5'9", senior, averaging 15 points a game. Number 33 is Tatiana Dunlop, averaging 8 points a game and 4 rebounds. She's a 5'9", sophomore. Sierra Thompson is number 3. She's a 5'9", sophomore, the younger sister, averaging 9 points a game. Number 55 is Brianna Bognuda, averaging 6 points a game, a 5'5", senior, great defensive player. Number 32 is Simone Thompson. She's a 5'6", junior, averaging 11 points a game. Heather Madrigal, number 24, a 5'6", junior, averaging almost 12 points a game and 6 rebounds. Regine Varon, 6'2", junior, 11.3 and 10 rebounds. And the final starter for St. Joseph is Ali Beebe, 6'3", junior, averaging 21 points a game. And number 34 is Nicole Collins, a 5'9", junior, 5'8", and 5'7" are her stats. 5.8 scoring and 5.7 rebounds. Ed Torres, the head coach for the St. Joseph Knights, and Mackenzie Hadley, the head coach for the Serra Cavaliers. And we're about ready to get started here. High school basketball on SMT TV is brought to you in part by BMW of Santa Maria, 2150 South College. Give me a call at 805-614-0306. Your Highline dealer on the Central Coast, BMW of Santa Maria. And we want to thank all the sponsors, but next year they better make commercials. So at least we get a couple seconds. All right, both teams huddled up. We are almost ready here from the Anaheim Arena. 3AA championships.
Not bad, starting 15 minutes late. We've seen it much worse in years past.
Yes, we have. And we want to give a quick shout-out to someone listening in Utah, John Osborne. John Osborne, former athletic director at St. Joseph, had some heart surgery. It's about 1,000 former Hancock baseball players that are excited to know that John Osborne actually had a heart. But he is doing quite well, and we want to wish him the best and hope to see him soon. So an offensive rebound underneath, but Ali Beebe gets a block, and Richardson has it. She passed underneath to an open. Number 22, Varon, and Regine Varon put Sarah on the board.
And so Varon coming from that weak side. Picked up that 2 points, first 2 points for Sarah.
And a quick rebound. And St. Joe got the ball against the press quickly. Richardson, she's going to be fouled by Dunlop.
Dunlop did not get down onto Richardson quick enough. She had to try to come down, pick her up. Richardson went around her. Dunlop's call for the foul.
And that's going to be another key, Irvin, is foul trouble.
Yeah.
Both starting fives play a lot of minutes, and they can't afford to get in foul trouble. There's a little dish off to Richardson underneath. She puts up a shot no good, but offensive rebounds going to be bounced around and controlled by Sarah. Again, that's 2 offensive rebounds already.
That's correct, and that's where St. Joseph, I said, had to really knuckle down.
Madrigal gets a rebound, and there's going to be a whistle.
I believe it's the clock.
Wait, I'm about 200 yards away, and then the PA guy got it wrong. They gave the foul to somebody else. It's on Brianna Dunlop. So already we have a question about fouls. Great. So Dunlop gets the foul, and now St. Joe will inbound. English.
Somebody's got to come and help English.
In the back, and she almost loses it. Bagnuda gets it, and she loses it. So full court pressure works. Richardson goes in, and she is fouled. So right away, the pressure by Sarah is hurting St. Joseph.
You know, Kelsey English was down there by herself. St. Joe's was standing still. They were not coming back to give her some support. You've got to come back, especially when the other team's going to be pressing, and give her opportunities where she can throw the ball out and break from there.
So the foul's on Bagnuda, the second team foul, and the first free throw is made. And that is first basket, or first point, I should say, for Richardson. And it's now 3-0. This is the biggest deficit I've seen St. Joe in 2 years.
No, the Roy Grandy game, that first game, they were down. But that's when they started playing really good basketball, starting with the second half.
Another offensive rebound and almost the basket, but Beebe pulls it down.
Three possessions, 3 offensive rebounds. St. Joe's has really got to get on the boards.
Beebe gets in front court to English. She drives into the key. Gives it to Beebe. About a 15-foot shot counted. One thing about Beebe in the last this season, she's starting to step out a little farther and making shots, which makes her even more dangerous.
Well, certainly will help her in the years to come because I doubt that she'll be playing the post position.
Full court pressure slows Sarah down a little bit, but now they have it in the front court. A 3-point shot is a line drive.
And another offensive rebound.
Another offensive rebound, no good. And Beebe will grab it. Finally grabs it and dishes it out to English. We come the other way. Bagnuda has it. English near the top of the key. She'll take a long shot, no good. No Knights underneath.
No.
And a rebound taken by Thompson. Simone Thompson, 3 rebounds already. Richardson drives into the key, dishes it off. Nice pass. And a basket by Nicole Collins. Makes it 5-2.
And everything has been scored in the paint, Brad, for Sarah right now.
Beebe gets it in the front court against the pressure. Now she gives it out to English on the near side. St. Joe down 5-2, setting up the offense. And right now, St. Joe just standing around. Bagnuda has it out on the far wing. She'll drive into the key. Nice move, but it's blocked. Beebe tries to save it, and English gets it.
Somebody's got to help her.
Block. And the shot clock runs out. When Bagnuda put that shot up, it was blocked and didn't touch the rim. So the clock kept going, and St. Joseph will turn it over with 5:17 on the clock here in the first quarter. 5-2, Sarah leading.
And the ball went to the corner. English picked up her dribble. Nobody ran to help her. That's the second time so far tonight that is happening.
Full court pressure, and it works this time as Nicole Collins throws it away at midcourt, so St. Joe will get it. But Sarah quickly goes into their full court pressure.
I have absolutely no idea who Collins was throwing the ball to.
And I don't think she knew. Bagnuda gets it, inbound to Tatiana Dunlop, but she gets passes kicked away. Madrigal was open on the near side, but good defensive play that time by Sarah to kick it out of bounds. So they reset the clock, the shot clock to 30, 5:08 on the clock. Dunlop will inbound it. And gets it into English. English stops her dribble and gets it into Beebe. Beebe will turn around and shoot. Count it. Little off balance going the opposite side, but she makes the basket and makes it 5-4. And a foul in the backcourt.
And that's reaching in by Kelsey English about 90 feet away from the basket. You just can't do that. You got to play defense with your feet. You got to move your feet.
Actually, the foul was called on number 24, which is Heather Madrigal. We're on the opposite side of where the officials are telling the scorekeepers, so we got to kind of watch the scoreboard after. Richardson's shot is no good. English loses the rebound, and garbage ball goes to Varon, who puts it in underneath the basket. It's now 7-4.
And all 7 points have actually been off offensive rebounds, Brad. Because the one time that they
shot is just missed by Dunlop. Offensive rebound by Beebe, no good. And Varon pulls it down again. So outside of Allison Beebe, St. Joe not doing anything on the boards.
Man, and everybody's just standing still.
Ball stolen away by English. She'll slow it down a little bit now, get in the front court, and throws it away. Here comes Richardson, 2-on-2. She'll drive against English and put it up, and it's going to be a foul. And St. Joe's being called for their 4th foul already here.
Yeah, with 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. That's 4 fouls, and the fouls are through the whole half, correct?
That is correct. And St. Joe, we're going to call a timeout. Trailing 7-4. St. Joe will be on defense when we come back. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching the CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SMT TV. High school basketball on SMT TV, I should say, is brought to you in part by Home Motors Chevrolet Catalog. 0% APR financing for 60 months on select 2011 Chevrolet models at Home Motors.
As I was trying to say earlier, the first 7 points for Sarah have all come off offensive rebounds. And St. Joseph's just got to get on those boards and start blocking out.
Richardson misses the first free throw. With 3:58 on the clock, St. Joe trailing 7-4 right now to Sarah. And that shot is missed, and BB gets the rebound. And it'll go in the hands of English. To Bagnuda in the front court. To BB out really high. Heather Madrigal working underneath. She comes back out. Bagnuda looks into BB. BB posting up. Dishes it over to Madrigal. Back to BB, working hard underneath the basket. And she is going to be fouled underneath. And we finally get the first foul on Sarah.
It's not a shooting foul, though. She was fouled before she went up the shot. And right now it appears that St. Joe's is looking to BB every time. They're going to have to start getting some other options offensively if they want to be successful tonight.
Number 23, Kayla Haley comes into the ball game, and Richardson has a seat. She's 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
Haley averaging 6.6 points per game so far this year.
Bagnuda puts up another shot and a great block out. Rebound comes down to Sarah as Haley brings it in the front court. Drives into the key, pass Dunlop, puts it off the glass, no good. BB another rebound. 5 rebounds already for BB. Madrigal in the front court. She'll drive into the key. The ball's tipped away, almost stolen. And fighting for the loose ball, I think they're going to call a foul on Madrigal.
And that's going to be her second, you say?
That foul's called on number 24, Heather Madrigal.
Yep, Madrigal gets her second foul. And that's already the 15th foul. And she'll have to come on to the bench. And coming in will be Caitlin Flowers. Caitlin Flowers, a 5'6" freshman, defensive specialist.
Flowers so far this year averaging 2.8 points a game, but only rebounding at 2 rebounds per game. So she's really going to have to block out if she's going to be against the center for the other team, Sarah.
3 minutes on the clock. A shot is thrown up and good by Sierra Thompson. It's now a 9-4 lead for the Cavaliers. BB has it out at the top of the key. You don't want her up there. She'll pass it underneath to English. She'll make a turn, and she is fouled underneath. And I believe that foul will be on Simone Thompson.
Cavalier foul, charge number 32.
And that'll send Kelsey English to the free throw line for the first attempts from the line by the St. Joseph Knights, who trail 9-4. 2:42 on the clock here in the first quarter of the Division III AA CIF Championship game.
English good on the first one, shooting 65% in the year at the free throw line.
She's averaging almost 11 points a game. That's her first point of the night. English makes the second shot. She has been money from the free throw line in the playoffs. Full court pressure by St. Joseph. Just dribbled out of it is Sierra Thompson. Thompson will drive into the key and tries to dish it out. It's almost picked off, and it is by Bagnuda. Here comes St. Joseph the other way. Bagnuda has it tipped away and stolen by Sarah Thompson. Sierra Thompson will go in for the layup. Another turnover, and it's turned into points for Thompson. Makes it 11-6.
And another turnover on English as she kicks the ball out of bounds.
So St. Joseph looking a little out of sorts right now, and it's Sarah's defense that is doing it.
Yeah, that and the fact that they're hitting the board so well, Sarah, on the offensive end.
Sierra Thompson for Sarah has the ball, pass it underneath. Nice little post up, but can't get the shot down. BB gets down her 6th rebound already. Bagnuda will bring it into the front court. St. Joe kind of standing, waiting for BB, I guess, to get set. English on the near side. She'll drive into the key, put up a soft shot, no good. Fights for the rebound, it goes out of bounds off of English. But St. Joe offensively right now not doing a whole lot.
No, they're looking to put the ball in BB's hands, and they want BB to go up for every shot. it's just not going to work that well. You've got to find other options. That particular time, I have no problems with English driving and then stopping and putting up the short jumper. She's trying to create.
So Ed Torres takes a 30-second timeout, and we'll let you know that high school basketball on SMT TV being brought to you in part by Community Volkswagen, 2150 South College in Santa Maria. Their phone number is 348-3221. Go to Community Volkswagen, where there's a car for everyone. 1:47 on the clock here in the first quarter. A slow start for the St. Joseph Knights. And like you say, a lot of that is because of the Sarah Cavaliers and their work on the boards.
Of all the times we've done St. Joe's this year, though, they look flatter tonight than we've seen them all year. And some of that is because of the opposition. There's no doubt about that.
St. Joe in full court pressure again. But with a dribble, it's beaten by Taylor Reed, who's into the game now. And Taylor Reed goes a little too far with that ball and double dribbles.
I was wondering if she got that last one.
Tell you, everybody from Sarah who's beaten the press just dribbled all the way in.
They're not stopping ball, St. Joe's. You've got to stop ball on that press.
Flowers gives it to Beebe, who puts it up and in. And a quick timeout taken by Sarah with 1:32 on the clock. And it is now 11-8, Sarah leading. So
that's the best I've seen St. Joe's do so far tonight. They beat the transition basket, Brad. They beat Sarah down the court. They got the ball in tight, and BB put up and scored. Automatically, Sarah coach calls timeout and says, we need to get back on defense.
Mackenzie Hadley saw something out there he didn't like on that one play, so he took the timeout. And Sarah Cavaliers, and as we said, Hadley, he's been here as well 2 years ago at Mater Dei High School when St. Joseph defeated them in the championship. Wanted to give another quick shout out to Luann Wilson. Rick Wilson, the official and an umpire in the area. Luann Wilson was thinking about making the trip, but she broke her ankle. But she's a St. Joe mom, and she's listening. And the ball stolen by Bagnuda, who misses it on the layup. That would have been huge.
Yes.
And a travel.
That was a nice defensive play by Allison Beebe. It was 2-on-1. She forced the dribbler to give up the ball or stop, and then the dribbler traveled, and consequently St. Joe's gets the turnover.
So now Beebe is back deep during the press, and Dunlop will get up in the front court. Bounce it to Flowers, goes around a defender. The ball is blocked. Dunlop gets the offensive rebound and puts it in.
First time tonight that St. Joe's has scored on a putback. The stop ball.
Richardson drives in, and she travels. No basket. But it is going to be a pushing foul from behind.
And is that going to be on Tatiana Dunlop?
She's acting like it is. Dunlop called for her second foul now. 16 fouls against St. Joseph here with 1:03 left in his first quarter. This quarter seems to be lasting a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah. 11-10 Sarah right now. St. Joe's has cut that margin in the last couple of minutes.
Ball be inbounded to Sierra Thompson. From the baseline, a shot will go up, roll around, and in for Nicole Collins, who has 4 points. Full court pressure, under a minute. English bring it up in the front court. And she is stopped, and she throws it away.
That's the third turnover by English so far tonight.
And there's going to be a foul, I believe, against Sarah on that, going for the loose ball. Kayla Haley was away from the play, but she pushed the St. Joe player around to try to get to that loose ball. Called for the foul, so Dunlop will inbound. Kelsey English has 3 or 4 turnovers already in this first quarter. Very rare.
Yeah, her and Bagnuda, the two guards, have turned the ball over 5 times between them so far.
Beebe gets it, turns and dribbles. Actually, she travels.
Travel.
31.8 on the clock. Sarah leading 13-10, and they get the ball inbounded to Richardson. Bria Richardson, dribble against Flowers. She'll drive all the way into the key. She'll put the ball up, and she's going to be fouled by Flowers. You got to stop that dribbler.
Yeah, you do. Sarah's having their way, the person that's bringing the ball down the court, regardless, as you said, all 5 of them handled the ball pretty well. They're bringing the ball down the court. Nobody's stopping the dribble. You have to stop the dribble and make them distribute.
But I guess if you're going to foul somebody, you might as well foul Richardson. She's 1 of 4 from the free throw line. First shot is up.
Nothing but net.
See that? She must have heard me from way up here. It's her second point of the night. She's 2, 4, 5. Going here for her 6th free throw already. And she misses that one. No, it's bounced around and knocked out of bounds by Flowers. Beebe had the rebound, but it took an extra bounce on the rim. Just mistimed it a little bit. So with 23.6, Sarah will probably go for the last shot here.
You would? Yeah, I would. I'm sure you would, and I'm sure that Sarah will as well.
14-10 is the score. The ball is inbounded. Collins has it, looks underneath and throws it away. Wow, they were looking for a breaking player underneath.
Yeah.
That was Simone Thompson, but she couldn't get the pass. The pass was a little too hard, and St. Joe will have a chance to close the gap here a little bit with 18 seconds on the clock.
That was a big break for St. Joe's because they could have been down as many as 7 at the end of this first quarter.
English throws up a prayer. It's not answered, and a rebound comes to Richardson coming down quickly. It's cross midcourt with about 5 seconds. She runs over a defender, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That was not a wise play by Richardson to force that.
No, the last 2 times that Sarah's had the ball, they have not actually played very smart basketball. Collins threw it away, and then Richardson runs right over Bognuta, and 2 turnovers for Sarah.
St. Joe has 3.5 seconds. English will get the inbound. She'll throw it about 3/4 court, and it won't be close. And that'll be into the first quarter. And it's the first quarter where Sarah did a great job on the offensive boards, and they lead after the first quarter 14-10. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching the CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SantaMariaTimes.com.
Welcome back to the Anaheim Arena. We're at the end of the first quarter. Sarah Cavaliers lead St. Joseph Knights 14-10. As we were talking during the break, Sarah has really hit the boards extremely well, had many opportunities at second chance. That's where St. Joe's has really been beaten so far tonight. St. Joseph's got to be careful because every time they come down the court, the ball is going into BB's hands, which I think is smart, but then everybody else is standing and they're waiting for BB to put the ball up and score. They need to get more options going. The Knights do. St. Joe's ball will take it out here at the beginning of the second quarter. Tatiana Dunlap, who has 2 fouls, will take it out.
And we talked about how fouls were going to be an important thing for the starters right now, and St. Joe is having trouble.
Well, from now on, Sarah, this quarter will be 1-1 because they have already committed 7 fouls.
And that's another turnover. And Sarah will bring the ball in the front court. Like you said, St. Joseph seems a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, they do.
And they seem to be trying to force it into BB, another travel. So,
but when you look at it, both sides are playing pretty sloppy right now. I mean, that's the 3rd time in a row that Sarah's come down and had a turnover, counting the last 2 of the first quarter and the first 1 of the second quarter.
7:35 on the clock. English trying to get in the front court against Richardson, who almost tips it away and steals it. You know what? St. Joe's got to stop dribbling. They got to come back, get the ball, pass it up the court. How many times have we seen St. Joe move up and down the court several times over the years with just passing the ball and not doing the dribble?
They called a turnover there on English. That's her 4th turnover so far tonight. But you're right. You're right. English is trying to bring the ball up by herself. Nobody's coming back to help her.
Richardson knocked that out of bounds clearly, and they called a jump ball for some reason. Here comes a 3-point attempt up front, no good, and Flowers pulls down the long rebound.
Nice bound by Flowers.
Dunlop loses the ball on the dribble, and St. Joe is having trouble on the dribble because Sarah's hands, they have very quick hands. They're able to knock the ball out.
That was a good point that you made just a couple of minutes ago where St. Joe's is dribbling so much, it's taken them right out of their rhythm so far tonight.
Dribbling the ball is Simone Thompson. She'll drive in, run over a defender, and they're going to call a block.
That's a good call. But unfortunately, that's going to be the third one on Dunlap.
And that's going to be into Dunlap for a while. And unfortunately, to replace Dunlap, they're going to bring in someone with 2 fouls. Heather Madrigal's back into the ball game.
And as I said, for the next couple fouls, Sarah will go 1-1. After that, they'll get 2 foul shots every time they are fouled.
And that was a shooting foul?
No.
She was driving in. Shooting 2. So that's Simone Thompson's, her first points of the night. It's now 15-10. 6:49 left here in this second quarter. Head Torres got to be pretty frustrated right now with the way his team is playing as she makes the second free throw as well. Full court pressure, and English will pass it to Bagnudu, who gets it in the front court. To Beebe at the top of the key. She gives it to Flowers. Flowers will drive in. She is hammered. Regine Varon comes in and says, wait a minute. She still has her arms. Can't call a foul when she's got both of her arms left.
Caitlin Flowers on the year, averaging 52% at the free throw line. Makes the first one.
That's her first point of the night. And coming out of the game will be Varon. Coach Hadley does not want her to get a big rebounding force underneath the basket. Doesn't want her to get her third foul this early.
Well, not only does she get, double figures in rebounds, but it's 11.3 points per game.
Second free throw is missed by Flowers, and Richardson pulls it down. And she'll drive into the front court. They don't stop the dribble. She'll drive into the key. She'll stop and shoot from about 10. No good. Another offensive rebound. And a three-point shot? No, a two-point shot. Sierra Thompson makes the basket. And another offensive rebound set it up.
Yes, just the fact that St. Joe's is not boxing out.
English takes a long shot, no good, and Richardson will bring down the long rebound. And it'll be a reaching foul. I think St. Joe's starting to get a little frustrated as well as English picks up her third foul.
No, it's only the second.
Oh, check that. You're right. English will come out. And that's an interesting move by Torres. Brings in Dunlop with 3 fouls. Takes English out, who has 2. And Richardson back at the free throw line. Makes the front end of the 1-and-1.
And Richardson has been to the free throw line how many times tonight?
8. Well, this will be her 8th attempt right here. She's 3 of 7 as she steps up to the line now. Line drive is no good, and Ali Beebe pulls down the rebound. So Bagnuda now will bring their ball in the front court.
That's correct.
Almost dribbled it too long again. Beebe has it. From the corner of the key, count it. 8 points for Ali Beebe, and she's the only offensive force right now. Beebe goes up in the air on a 3-shot attempt, and she is knocked over.
And it's going to be a foul underneath. Good call by the ref. It's going to be on number 5 on
Jasmine Joseph called for her first foul.
Yeah, she pushed Beebe out of bounds. The ball was short, did not hit anything. Beebe took the ball and was pushed out of bounds.
Beebe with 8 of the St. Joe's 13 points. She also has 8 rebounds. She's pretty much even with Sarah, but most of Sarah's rebounds have been on the offensive board.
That's correct, and they've converted on a good portion of them.
Dunlop will inbound it to Beebe. Gets it to Bagnuda in the front court. Ball stolen away. Sierra Thompson, another quick hand steal, and it's a 2-on-1. And going in for the layup with minimal defense. Simone Thompson lays it in, and there's nothing that Dunlop could do. Flowers has the ball. She'll drive all the way in, and she's going to be fouled. Will the foul be on Richardson? That'll be her second.
The first 2 things that we talked about in terms of the keys to the game, turnovers and rebounding. And St. Joe's right now is not doing either one of them is very well.
St. Joe trailing by 8 right now. Flowers will go to the free throw line again. Shooting 2. First one's very short. Now you say she's shooting about 50% on the season. She should make this one.
Yes.
But she's now 2 for 3. Caitlin Flowers, a 5'6" freshman. Second one is no good, but she gets the offensive rebound and lays it in.
Smart play by Flowers. Extremely smart. Everybody ran away from the ball. She just went, picked it up, and put the ball right back in.
That was huge. 21-15 is the score. Here comes a long three-point shot, no good. The rebound's going to be taken by Madrigal. She comes down running. Sarah gets back quickly. Madrigal bounce it into Flowers. She bounces it to Dunlap, off the glass and in.
Nice, nice, nice on all three counts. Madrigal, Dunlap, and Flowers. All three of them went to the basket, passed well. St. Joe's picks up another 2 points. They're only down by 4 now.
21-17 is their score. Sierra Thompson dribbles. She'll stop and pop from 3, counting. Just calmly goes up to the three-point lane and shoots it. And Beebe almost stepped in bounds. She got it to Bagnuda, who dribbles all the way down, puts it off, no good. Madrigal gets the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball. They have the reach from behind to grab the ball, and it'll go St. Joseph's way. 4:21 on the clock, 24-17 after that big three-point basket for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that really helped the Cavaliers, didn't it? I mean, that hurt St. Joe's. You get it within 4, and then boom, they drop the bomb on you.
Bagnuda will inbound. Tries to get it into Beebe, and it's tipped away. Nice defensive play by Varon.
There's 3 people around Beebe. Find somebody else.
Dunlop now will do the inbounding. Get it to Madrigal. In the key to Beebe. Turnaround shot is way off. Little off balance, and the rebound comes down. Here we go the other way. And that's an offensive foul. Great setup by Bagnuda.
That's the second time she's taken a charge tonight. And both times, Sarah had the numbers. Nice play by Bagnuda.
And you know, that's one thing that you're going to have to do is Sarah's going to play up tempo.
Yes.
They're going to play a little out of control. So if you can get set up like that, you can get the foul like that.
Well, something that we've noticed so far tonight, that whoever starts bringing the ball down the court is the one that's going to drive to the basket.
Bagnuda throws it up. Was trying to get the foul called. So she put it up really strong, and it goes off the shot clock at the top of the backboard.
Which is only, by coincidence, about 5 or 6 feet higher than the top of the backboard.
Under 4 minutes here in the second quarter. 24-17, Sarah leads. Shot is partially blocked by Dunlop, and Madrigal gets the rebound. And they'll give it to Flowers.
Flowers, as a freshman, handles that ball pretty well.
Down the corner is Madrigal. She looks underneath to Beebe, posting out high. Gives it back to Madrigal, drives in, and she's fouled. So this game's going to take a while.
Madrigal going to the line is shooting 68% on the year as a free thrower. St. Joe's as a team shooting 63.
And even more importantly for Coach Mackenzie Hadley, that's the 3rd foul for Regine Varon. Madrigal misses the first free throw. Looking for her first point of the night. And Richardson will come back in, replacing Varon, who sits down with 3 fouls now with 3:33 here in the second quarter.
You venture to think that you will not see Varon again for the rest of this half?
You would think so. Madrigal's second free throw is good. 2 of 6 in free throws for St. Joseph here in the second quarter. And they trail by 6. English will come back into the game. Richardson drives in and puts it off the glass. A little off balance, but she got that first step.
And, you know, it's become very apparent that Sarah is actually a lot quicker than St. Joe's.
Madrigal from the free throw line. She puts it up and in. Her first basket of the night. It's about 3 minutes left, and you're right. They are a lot quicker. That first step. Richardson, she'll stay a three-pointer now as Flowers kind of step back. Bagnuda fights for the rebound and gets it to Dunlop, but it's lost, and it goes the other way.
It's got a 4-on-1 against Allison Beebe.
And you better make it if you're 4-on-1.
Yeah.
Collins makes a basket. She has 6 points. Flowers bring it up in the front court. 2:30 as Beebe gets underneath. She puts it up and she's going to be fouled. Getting some Texas throughout the night.
Yeah.
Speaking of Texas, let's talk about Texas. Texas of the state, I should say.
Yeah, my daughter is listening, her and her husband Michael. They text me, as well as I just got another text from Mark and Susie of Custom Workouts. They're going to have the computers on at their business so people can keep tuned to what's going on tonight.
And we want to thank everybody for listening out there as Beebe makes her first free throw.
BB on the year, shooting 65% from the line.
Alexa Galloway will come into the game for the first time, and I think that's a good move with 2:29 left to bring in someone new, let Dunlop sit on the bench for a little while and rest. And she does have the 3 fouls. Beebe's second free throw is good. 10 points now for Allison Beebe. 2:25 on the clock. It's 28-22. Sarah has led the entire way. Richardson has the ball out high. She throws it back to Sierra Thompson. Corner of the key and driving in. That's going to be a foul on Galloway. She knew it.
That's going to be the 10th foul on St. Joe's, so it'll be 2 foul shots. There again, Galloway was beaten on that first step.
Let's check out the free throw. The first attempt is no good. Haley will step up for the second attempt. Puts it up.
Shot
no good.
Haley sort of shot puts that ball up, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. 9 rebounds for Beebe. And trying to post up underneath, she'll be fouled.
And she will go to the line for 2 foul shots.
Taylor Reed called for the foul. She comes off the bench and try to wear Beebe down and kind of muscle her around for the next couple minutes.
Beebe was 2 for 2 from the line when first time she went to the line tonight.
So Beebe shooting 2 more. Misses that one. And she'll have another attempt here. Missed them both. And a good lucky break for St. Joe is Sarah knocks it out of bounds.
That's twice tonight that St. Joe's has gone 0 for 2 at the foul line. The first time
And got the ball back.
Flowers got it, went in and scored, and now they can take the ball out.
Flowers has a jump shot, no good, and the rebound comes down to Haley. And Sarah will get it in the front court. That's Sierra Thompson for Sarah. Pass in the corner. 3-point shot from there is no good. And English comes up with the ball. And now officials timeout. What's the call?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure the shot clock started.
Unfortunately for St. Joe's, they had numbers and had a fast break going. Could not continue.
English going to be double teamed now on full court pressure. And St. Joe's got to come back and help. Beebe's got it. Gets it in the front court. Galloway. Bounce over to Flowers. A nice pass underneath to Madrigal. It's blocked from behind. And a free throw or the rebound, I should say, taken by Reed.
Nice block by Simone Thompson there from behind on Madrigal.
Another 3-point shot. Open on this side. No good. And they're fighting for the rebound. They're going to call it. If they call a foul on Flowers, they're wrong.
No, I think they called it on Sarah.
Okay.
Number 23, Haley.
That's her third foul. That would have been very, very wrong if it was called the other way around.
Well, so far tonight, and we're not even at the end of the first half, there's been 21 fouls called on the two teams.
And that's making a big difference in the game, not only in the flow of the game, But foul trouble is going to be a major factor here in the second half.
And who makes their free throws is going to be a big factor. Caitlin Flowers at the line.
Caitlin Flowers, 1 of 4 right now.
Make that 2 of 5.
Returning for Sarah, number 5, Jasmine Joseph, number 34, Nicole Collins.
So she'll get another chance here. Caitlin Flowers coming in the game, just averaging around 3 points a game. And she is currently at 4 here in the first half. Bagnuta comes back in. Galloway goes out. Flowers' second shot is up and good. It's now 28-24. St. Joe hanging there.
Yeah, it's the closest they've been for a while, isn't it?
Just can't catch them. Last time they pulled within 4, Sarah got a 3-point shot. This time they get a drive by Richardson, and she travels on the offensive rebound. She wanted a foul.
She wanted a foul on Beebe.
So the 102, St. Joe a chance to get a little closer here. Full court pressure as Flowers inbounds it to English. Back to Flowers. Quickly in the front court to Madrigal. Give the Beebe who hold it up. Now let's set the offense up.
Oh, they were lucky there.
Good thing Bagnuta was back there.
That was a nice play there by Madrigal, wasn't it?
Madrigal made a nice move around the defender, and Taylor Reed just was not going to let her make that shot, so she fouls her.
Horse collared Madrigal, but a nice move by Madrigal. She got the ball. What I liked is that she just didn't stop. She just went right around Reed, was going to go in for the layup, and was hogtied, and now at the line.
You know, we talked about how Madrigal at 5'8" plays a lot taller underneath there, and she was posting up. She was the post-up player that time.
Yes.
And she was posting up against Taylor Reed, who's about 5'6". So you might as well take advantage of that because Madrigal a lot quicker than Reed. That's one of the advantages as she misses the second free throw. Speed-wise, that would probably be the only mismatch where St. Joe has the speed. Richardson throws up a shot, no good, but she gets her offensive rebound. Puts it up partially blocked, and it bounces off of BB's behind.
Yeah, I think BB actually partially blocked that shot. And St. Joe's actually played some nice defense that particular series right there, just could not get the rebound.
32.6 on the clock. The ball's inbounded. And there's another shot, off-balance shot thrown up, and BB grabs the rebound. And you got to love about BB. She grabs that rebound and holds it up high.
Yes. She's taught well, isn't she?
English has the ball in the front court, stops her dribble. Gives the Bagnuta. She moves past the defender and lays it in.
St. Joe's within 28-27.
Under 10 seconds now, 5 seconds.
You don't
You
want
know
to foul.
Richardson's going to take a shot, and she does. It's short. BB gets the rebound. And that is the end of the half. And a good job by St. Joseph to get back into this game.
Absolutely.
We have reached the halfway mark, and it is Sarah 28, St. Joseph 27. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SMT TV. And welcome back, everyone. Brad Memberto along with Irvin Kiger. We also have Jose Aquino and Braxton Carroll on cameras. And we're joined at halftime by the athletic director from St. Joseph, Tom Mott. And he makes it up here to Snow Country, up at the top of the arena. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me up here tonight.
You got a nice big crowd. Made a couple. You got a couple buses full of guys.
Yep, 2 Rooter buses full, so I think there's about 105 kids and a few chaperones, and a bunch of other kids drove down. So good showing here from St. Joe's.
And you got to admit, the last couple of years, it's always been a huge following for St. Joseph fans. That they followed them to Mater Dei 2 years ago, last year down at the Pyramid, and this year at the Anaheim Arena. That's one thing that you can't complain about at St. Joseph High School, and that's the support of the student body.
Yeah, and the thing is, being such a small school, everybody knows everybody. So, every single fan here has at least a couple friends on the team, and they know everybody on a first name basis. So it makes it nice, when you can come out and support your classmates and make the nice little trek down here to Anaheim for the championship game.
Now you guys had a nice little run. We won't talk about the double dribble, but on the boys' side, they thought very highly of your program as the 5th seed in your division. And you had a very young team, so you got to be pretty happy with the way that things went for you this year.
Yeah, in the big picture of things, I think we definitely did some good things, and we have a lot of young guys that are going to hopefully come back a year, with that year under their belts, where they get a little hungrier, a little more physical, and hopefully we can definitely make a little bit deeper run next year. But as a whole, there's a lot of positives on this season, and we'll build off those for next year.
Talking to Tom Mott, the athletic director, and of course the boys basketball coach at St. Joseph High School. And this first half, we were talking in the first. Irv and I were talking in the first quarter. That St. Joseph looked a little out of sorts in the first quarter. Just kind of let us know talk about how you saw that first half.
Yeah, I think Sarah, obviously they're very athletic and they get up and pressure. And, in the first, few minutes of the game, our girls, I'm sure they were ready for it, but I think the physical play, some of the calls could have gone either way. And, when the refs let you play and you're physical, it's tough for the offensive team. But, we settled down the second quarter, and, I think as the game progresses, you'll see us settle down even more and have a great second half.
A lot of fouls called in this first half, and I guess fouls will be a major factor here as we go into the second half.
Yeah, Tatiana Dunlap has 3, and a few other girls have 2. So fouls, it plays such a huge part of the game. So hopefully our girls can come out in the second half and not reach and not get the ticky-tack ones and, not have fouls dictate the outcome of the game.
Talking to Tom Mott, the athletic director at St. Joseph High School, and just kind of give us an overview of how things are going over at St. Joe. You got the spring sports starting up here. This is something that's an annual event now, late run into the CIF playoffs, but just kind of give a little recap of and a preview of what's going on at St. Joe.
Yeah, spring sports have kicked off. Baseball, I just got a message. They won today 6-1 over Templeton, so a good start to the year for them. Our track team was in the city invitational yesterday. Our girls won it, and our boys, I think, finished second or third. There's a question with the scoring on something. So, and then we have swimming kicking off tomorrow up at San Luis Obispo relays. Boys tennis defeated Lompoc yesterday, and boys golf is starting to get going here as well. So, it's a busy time of the year. The great thing is that, most of these sports are outside, so as the weather warms up, we get to sit outside and watch sports instead of sitting in a gym. And there's not a lot of night sports, so that means we get home even earlier. Boys volleyball, too, is off to a 2-0 start. So
that's right. You got to like that. This is the time of year where you actually get to go home sometimes in the sunlight, huh?
Yeah, it's not too often I get to see the sunset on my way home.
And we're talking to Tom Mott. He's the athletic director at St. Joseph High School. And Tom, let's just kind of get back to this game now. What do you think, Ed Torres? I mean, you've been in big games through all your coaching career. You've been at halftimes up and down in big games like this. What do you think Ed Torres is telling his team?
Well, I think the main thing that they're going to do is keep going inside to Allie Beebe. She's the definite mismatch out there. And, the Sarah girls are playing her very physically. Questionable that, if some of those aren't pushes in the back every time she touches the ball. But, when you're a great player like Allie is, you have to expect all the attention from the other team. And, just keep spacing on offense and taking care of the basketball. We had some turnovers there early on. I think we were just a little ragged and tried to play a little bit too fast. But, as you said, we settled down a little bit in the second quarter, and I think we'll continue to do that and hopefully use our advantage inside to get some buckets.
Now, one thing that we also saw in the first half was Sarah was able to get a lot of turnovers, but they weren't able to take advantage of them. So, I mean, it's going to be a key for St. Joe not to give them the ball because Sarah's not going to get the ball in turnovers that many times and not make baskets.
Yeah, that's the thing. When any team that's in the championship is going to be a good team, and Sarah, fortunately for us, hasn't taken advantage of some of the opportunities we've given them. So hopefully this second half we won't give them those opportunities, so they won't have the chance to capitalize.
Well, it's been the third quarter that's been St. Joe's quarter for most of this season. So let's hope they get a nice charge here out in the second half.
Most definitely.
Tom Mott, our halftime guest. I'll give you time now. You can go all the way back down there to see the rest of the game. I want to thank you for coming up here and joining us, and we'll be following St. Joseph sports throughout the spring season, and thanks for your visit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brad.
Tom Mott, the athletic director of St. Joseph. Now he has to go down there and get those guys in spandex. There's some guys down there in spandex. It's very disturbing, but he's going to keep them under control. All right, we're going to come back, and Irvin Kiger and I will talk about the stats at halftime and set up the second half. But before we take our 30-second break, just want to remind you that high school basketball on SMT TV is being brought to you in part by Central Coast Marble and Granite. From new to old, Orcutt Central Coast Marble and Granite take care of all your solid surface needs. Bathrooms, kitchens, bars, and barbecue counters. For information, call Paul. The number is 598-4110-4110. Central Coast Marble and Granite, located right behind Rooney's Irish Pub in Orcutt. Make sure you go check them out. And also brought to you in part by Dr. Carolyn Baldivia's Park Avenue Smiles. That's located at 111 East Park Avenue in Santa Maria. Dr. Carolyn Baldivia's was born and raised in Santa Maria. She's a St. Joseph alumni, and she's a proud sponsor of tonight's game. Dr. Baldivia specializes in family dentistry with emphasis on cosmetic dentistry and has been practicing for 15 years. Patients say their office feels just like home. So visit online, http:// I don't think you need to put that in, actually, because all you got to do is put in drbaldivias.com/ and you can also call them at 739-2224. That is Park Avenue Smiles, Dr. Carolyn Baldivias. All right, we're going to take a 30-second timeout for Marion Medical Center, who is our major sponsor. Hear from them, and we'll come back and hear from Irvin Kiger. We are at halftime. Sarah leading St. Joseph by a score of 28-27. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching the CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SMT TV.
All right, welcome back to Anaheim Arena, where the score at halftime is Sierra Cavaliers 28, St. Joseph High School Knights 27. St. Joe's Brad came back that last couple minutes and closed the gap by about 7 points to get back into this game. You're going to have to find out what kind of adjustments are made for both teams. Both teams played at times good basketball, at times very sloppy basketball. St. Joe's has not been good on the defensive boards. They need to get on the boards, and both sides have run into some foul troubles. So the way it stands right now, 28-27, it's very close. They've played very close. St. Joe's on a couple of things they need to really, I think, work on is defensively. They need to stop the dribble. Whoever's bringing the ball down the court almost all the time. You're going to find a lot of these LA schools aren't quite as disciplined as a lot of other schools. Whoever has the ball is the one that's going to throw it up. And so they just need to stop that drive and stop their fouling and get on that defensive boards. Brad's adding up the stats right now. What do you have for us there, big man?
All right, let's start with the Sarah Cavaliers. They lead by a score of 28-27. They scored 14 points in each of the first two quarters. They're led by Sierra Thompson, who has 9 points. Bria Richardson with 5, 4 from Regine Viren, but she also has 3 fouls. 6 points from Nicole Collins and 4 by Simone Thompson. From the free throw line, Sarah struggling a little bit, 5 of 12 from the free throw line. But St. Joe hasn't been a whole lot better from the free throw line. They're 9 of 16 in this first half. They're led by Allie Beebe with 10 points. And then they're followed by Caitlin Flowers, who came off the bench, had 5 points in the second quarter. 2 by Kelsey English, 4 from Heather Madrigal. Those all came in the second quarter as well. 4 points from Tatiana Dunlop and 2 by Brianna Bagnuda. St. Joseph struggled a lot in that first quarter, along with the tempo of the game,
right,
and the control of the game, but they kind of settled things down. One thing that I was talking about with Tom Mott, I'm not sure if you heard it or not, but we were talking about how the fact that St. Joe turned the ball over so many times in the first half, but many of those times Sarah was not able to take advantage of that and score, or otherwise they could have had a bigger lead.
Well, that's what I said. When we opened up here in the second half, is that both teams at times have played very well, and both times they've played very, very sloppy. And Sarah on about 4, they had about 4 or 5 turnovers on 5 different possessions, and that's right in a row. And both coaches have got to. We're going to find out what their adjustments are going to be here in the second half.
And we'll see what happens as Sarah keeps up their full court pressure. It's going to be hard for both teams to keep up a lot of pressure because of the foul trouble. Rajan Varon has 3. Kayla Haley has 3 fouls. Richardson with 2 and Taylor Reed with 2. On the other side, Tatiana Dunlop has 3 fouls, 2 each from Kelsey English and Heather Madrigal. So foul trouble is going to be make a deciding factor as far as what's going to happen defensively.
And one thing that we've seen so far tonight, that every time that St. Joseph's come down with the ball has gone through Allison Beebe's hands. And Beebe has not been out yet tonight. I think that second half came at a really good time for St. Joe's in terms of Allison Beebe. It looked to me like she was starting to get a little tired at the end of that second quarter.
All right, as we start the second half, Sarah will inbound the ball, and it'll be Sierra Thompson, leading scorer with 9. She'll get it on the near side to her sister, Simone. Up high, just working around the perimeter now. Here comes a long three-point shot. It's going to be short. Rebound's going to be controlled by Beebe, who had 11 rebounds in that first half.
10 points and 11 rebounds. That's a game for most people.
Now St. Joe is pretty even in rebounds because of Beebe. Nice pass underneath to Madrigal. She puts it in.
And first time tonight that the Knights have actually had the lead, Brad.
So it's now 29-28 St. Joe. Here comes a shot, no good. The rebound's going to be battled for underneath, and it's going to be a jump ball, and that means St. Joe will get it. Thank you. I thank Jose Aquino directing our webcast tonight, and our cameraman, Braxton Carroll. They've really done a great job this year. They don't know how much we appreciate it, and we're not going to tell them. They don't want them to get big heads. English pass to Beebe underneath. Nice move. She puts it up and she's fouled.
I'd like to have seen Allison just go right to the basket instead of shooting as quickly as she did that particular time, but she was fouled, as you said, and will go to the line.
That's the fourth person who's guarding. That's Collins, her second personal foul. And Beebe goes to the free throw line. But she has not been very successful. 2 of 4, make that 2 of 5 now.
That's one part of her game that I think that she'll really need to work on, is the fact is her free throw shooting. For the year, she's shooting 65%.
She needs to take a little more time, I think. She takes a little more time at the free throw line. She kind of rushes right into it. But St. Joe now has a 2-point lead. That's their biggest lead of the game. Short shot's going to be no good. Another offensive rebound blocked by Beebe.
That's got to be a walk.
That's going to be a travel underneath. They're going to call a foul instead. Who was that foul on?
Is it 21?
Torres. English call for her third foul. And at the free throw line will be Simone Thompson. She's now 3 for 3 from the free throw line. 5'6" junior, averaging 11 points a game. Puts up a second free throw, and it's perfect. I don't think that's the person you want to foul anymore.
No.
You're St. Joe. Bagnuda has it in the background, and she's going to be blocked by Richardson. That's her third.
That's her third. One thing about it, these referees have called it tight, but on both sides.
It's her third personal, second team foul against the Cavaliers.
Let's see, how many fouls? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fouls on St. Joe. I think I missed one. St. Joe will now set it up. They have a 30. We're tied at 30-30 after the 2 free throws. English has been pretty quiet so far tonight offensively. Gives it to Madrigal. She travels. She made a good move to get free to catch that ball. Then she shuffled her feet a little bit.
Just forgot to put the ball on the floor.
So Sarah now with a chance to take the lead.
St. Joseph's dropped back now. They're not extending that man-to-man press. Picking them up at half court.
We usually go into that press in the third quarter. Maybe Coach Torres thinking it's going to be a tight game. Well, trying to conserve a little bit of energy until the fourth quarter.
As we've seen, a lot of Sarah players have had a good first step on St. Joe's and beat them to the basket. Perhaps this is a way of stopping them from driving so much and forcing them to put the ball up from outside.
Bagnuda almost got the turnover there, but knocked it out of bounds. So is going for the steal. So Sarah will inbound it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. There's a shot thrown up, a prayer, and it's not good. But she gets her own offensive rebound. That's Sierra Thompson, and they start over again. Driving underneath, the shot is off the glass. That was a pretty shot by Haley.
And Haley just went right around Beebe.
Beebe now has it underneath. She posts up. She loses her dribble. She'll put up a 10-footer good.
That almost looked like it could have been double dribbles.
And back to 32-32, 5:30 here on the clock in the third quarter.
You know, you said that Ed Torres would said that it would be, not a high-scoring game, and so far he is absolutely correct.
Beebe gets another rebound, and English has it in the front court to Bagnuta. She'll drive in. She'll dish it up, hoping for a foul. No good. Beebe's going to get a foul after Richardson got the free throw.
Bagnuta tried to
Or the
come
rebound,
in,
I should say.
tried to make the layup from underneath, bringing it up. She should have just gone up strong with it.
Charge number 35, Allison Beebe.
So Beebe picks up her first foul.
17 foul. Ball out of bounds.
So with 5:13, Sarah has the ball, and we're tied at 32. So this is the Division III AA championship. Both teams moving up to this division this year and doing quite well. The number 1 and number 2 seed.
Nice block by Allison Beebe.
Beebe blocks it. The ball is loose on the floor.
And now they're going to call a foul on Madrigal, is it?
That's a horrible call. Going for the loose ball.
And that's Madrigal's third foul.
It's a loose ball on the floor. Two players are fighting for the ball or going for the ball. You can't call a foul on that.
Returning for the Knights, number 5.
No, I agree with you, Brad.
So Flowers will now come into the ball game. With 4:56 here in the third quarter, Heather Madrigal picks up her third foul. English is on the floor. She has 3. So a new clock after the foul. And Sarah will inbound underneath their own basket. Little house cleaning first.
Dunlap is on the floor. She has 3.
Nice move underneath to get open and misses a shot. Beebe gets the rebound and then a foul. And that's going to be number 4 on Richardson.
I didn't think that was a good call either.
Maybe that might have been a make good. So she's going to have to sit for a while now. That's going to be big.
Richardson has 5 points, but she's been really instrumental in getting the ball down court and distributing for Sarah so far tonight.
And also defensively doing a great job. Ball's inbounded to Flowers. She'll give it to Beebe at midcourt. She gives it to English. St. Joe now will set it up. Or no, they won't. English will drive in. Misses the layup, but she is going to the free throw line. That was a nice move by English to get around Joseph, who's called for her second foul.
Yes, it was.
Kelsey English a little quiet tonight. 2 points. That's 2 free throws in the first quarter. And that's all they've heard from Kelsey English offensively. Makes another free throw.
English on the year is shooting 65% from the line. But was she 3 of 3 tonight?
3 of 3. You know what that means as you talk about that? Exactly. I'm not going to say a thing.
Yeah.
St. Joe with a 1-point lead now. Sierra Thompson drives in. She's going to try to get a shot off. No good. Beebe grabbed it, but it's knocked out of bounds.
You know, what we're seeing right now is that Sarah is coming down the court, and they're not running anything offensively. Whoever has the ball is the one that's going to put it up.
Flowers in the front court. Can bring it back to Bagnuta. At the top of the key is Beebe. She throws it away. Beebe unsure about the pass. Ed Torres thought it was tipped, but it wasn't.
She had a dribble. She could have put the ball on the floor and reset.
As we said, it's been a pretty sloppy game here as we get halfway through the third quarter here.
On both sides.
Thompson with the ball on the far side. Still with the dribble. Nice move underneath. And it's going to be a foul on Bagnuta. I tell you, Ciala Haley is her name, number 23. She has really been working hard without the ball. And that's always good when you can work without the ball.
You're right.
To get open.
You're right.
She's 0 for 2 from the free throw line so far.
It's the young lady. Shock puts the ball.
I'm sure her track coach is happy. First one is up, no good. Now she's a chance to tie it with 3:58 on the clock here in the third quarter. 33-32, St. Joe leading in this Division III AA championship game. Takes her time. The left-hander throws it up, and it's good. So Haley now with 3 points. Flowers, she'll drive in, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Simone Thompson. St. Joseph a little aggressive on 3 or 4 drives here, driving towards the basket.
And, I think Flowers has played well tonight.
Beebe gets it underneath. She'll go up inside, no good. Fights for the rebound, gets it. She goes back up off the glass and good.
Very, very nice by Allison Beebe. Did not stop, tenacious on the boards, and that allowed her to pick up another couple of points. St. Joe's leads by 2.
And the whole time she had the ball, she had it up in the air.
Yes. Did not put the ball on the floor. Isn't that one of your pet peeves?
35-33. That's one thing that high school players will continue to do forever. Thompson throws up a prayer, no good. Beebe with another rebound. 15 rebounds for Beebe. Give it to Dunlop. She'll drive in hard off the glass.
Yes.
Good.
And what I liked about that with Dunlap is exactly what you said. She went up hard. She didn't try to soft it up there.
St. Joe with a 37-33 lead.
Varon getting ready to check back in for Sarah, their leading rebounder on the year.
Driving in, and an off-balance shot is no good, but fighting for the rebound. Haley is really working hard. She's playing well. 3-point shot is up, no good, but another offensive rebound. Sarah dominated the first half with a lot of offensive rebounds and getting a lot of second chance points. Trying to pass over Beebe, and it's going to be a jump ball. Can't pass it over Beebe.
No.
2:34 on the clock here in the third quarter. St. Joe with a 37-33 lead. The biggest lead so far has been 8 by Sarah. Ball is inbounded to Thompson. That's Simone Thompson. Posting up underneath is Varon, and she's going to be fouled by Beebe. That's going to be Beebe's second. So that'll send Varon to the free throw line. It'll be her first chance at the free throw line. She has 4 points on the night. All 4 came in the first half on offensive putbacks. First free throw is missed. Official timeout. Bagnudo is telling the official there's a couple wet spots on the floor. And they'll bring out the broom. While they do that, we'll let you know that high school basketball on SMT TV is brought to you in part by Community Volkswagen, 2150 South College in Santa Maria. Give them a call at 348-3221. That's Community Volkswagen, where there's a car for everyone. Okay, now we'll dry it up a little bit. Varon will get her second attempt from the free throw line. Puts the ball up, and it's no good. The rebound goes over Beebe's head, and another offensive rebound.
Yeah, I wish I had the count on how many offensive rebounds Sarah has tonight, but it would be easily into double figures.
They have about 25 rebounds on the game. I'd say half of them are offensive. Sierra Thompson dribbles the ball, can't find an opening. Keeps it outside to her sister. Here comes a drive, shot no good. Beebe had another rebound and lost it.
Nice,
and a nice
play.
Pass underneath.
Jasmine Joseph just threw a pass right around Beebe and got an assist on that as Sarah cuts the lead to 2.
Kelsey English puts up a 3-point attempt, no good. Sierra Thompson with the rebound, and they have a chance to tie the game or take the lead with a 3. 37-35. Thompson drives into the key, puts it up and count it.
And it's going to be an old-fashioned 3 perhaps.
And that's going to be a foul on English. That's going to be her 4th.
Foul charge number 21, Kelsey English. That's her 4th personal. 16th foul against the Knights.
So Madrigal will come back into the ball game.
I mean, Sierra Thompson got past English because English just wasn't moving her feet on defense and went in and scored and picked up the foul as well.
And with 1:36 left here in this third quarter, Sarah can regain the lead. If Thompson makes his free throw, this will be her first attempt. And it's good. Sarah now has a 38-37 lead. Ball in the front court. Dunlop gives it to Madrigal. Madrigal almost throws it away. Gives it to Dunlop again on the far side. Beebe in the corner of the key. Madrigal gets it underneath. She'll put it up and in. Nice work by Heather Madrigal underneath the basket.
Yeah, she used her body extremely well. Kept the ball between, her body between the ball and their opponent.
1:12 on the clock. St. Joe with a 39-38 lead. Sierra Thompson, she makes another move, and it's blocked by Madrigal. I tell you what, though, she made a good first step and got past the defender.
Yeah, got past Flowers. It looked like she was going to go all the way in for a layup, but Madrigal came up from behind and blocked the shot.
Jasmine Joseph gets an inbound. Barron's shot is up and no good, and a little rebound underneath by someone very short.
And Sarah keeps the ball as the referee calls the ball out on St. Joe's.
So under a minute now, 58.3 on the clock. The ball is inbound and loose ball is taken. Madrigal gets it. Feeds it ahead to Flowers. Flowers lays it up and in. And that was set up by Allie Beebe. Steele on the other side. 41-38. Sierra Thompson. They've been looking to her to score here in this third quarter. Posting up underneath. And very quickly, Beebe has her third foul.
And that was a tight call.
Who said at halftime fouls might make a big difference here. And Beebe's going to have to come out with 32.7 on the clock. Which will hurt on the boards. As into the game now is Kim Ritchie, a 5'9 senior. She's really played very well in the last 4 or 5 games for Coach Ed Torres.
She's in there for one thing right now, play defense and rebound.
And what are they looking at? Three officials will get together now and have a little discussion. Say, what do you want, Applebee's? No, we've been there. Let's go to the Elephant Bar. No, I don't like the Elephant Bar. There's too many drunks. Okay, well, what do you say we just go over to Disneyland and take a few rides after the game? Okay. Yeah, I think that might be a nice idea. Well, we do have this free voucher for some food. Maybe we'll just eat here and then watch the second game. What do you think? Okay, I think maybe we'll do that. Now they're done with their discussion. Now they got to explain it to the table.
Okay.
Okay, can you make reservations for us? I think we want to go to Charlie Brown's for a steak.
Don't give up your day job, Roberto. Well, actually, you work a lot of nights, don't you?
I work nights.
Yeah. Of course, they will not tell the PA announcer, so he can't inform the crowd. So none of us know what's really going on or where they're eating.
I'm not sure what they're discussing. Was it a reset or not? Maybe that was the question, whether they reset the clock. Or they can send her to the free throw line.
She wasn't shooting, though, was she?
It's a 7th foul, 17th foul. Okay, they finally realized it's the 17th foul. So Barron will get a 1-on-1. Right now, 0 for 2. Free throw is up and no good, and Kim Ritchie gets the rebound.
Nice bound by Ritchie.
Exactly what Coach Torres wanted her to do. Bagnuda gets it. Tries to pass it underneath to Dunlop, but it's stolen away. And then a travel.
Yeah, and Sarah's done that a lot tonight. That once they got a turnover from St. Joe's, they've just turned right around and done exactly the same thing.
19 seconds left on the clock. Madrigal comes out. Beebe comes in. So they get another basket for Beebe here underneath. With 19 seconds, St. Joe leading 41-38. Flowers almost switched with Dunlop. But Flowers will inbound the ball. She gives it to Bagnuda. Back to Flowers. Far side is Ritchie. Underneath the Beebe. She'll go up. Put it off the glass and in.
It's in, and St. Joe's now has a 5-point lead.
Under 2 seconds left. Here comes a long shot, no good at the buzzer. And St. Joe's has taken the lead here in the third quarter. They now lead by a score of 43-38 as we get ready for this final quarter of this 3AA championship. Major sponsorship of high school basketball on SMTV is provided by Marion Medical Center, Inspired Healthcare, then, now, always. Let's listen from them right now. You're watching CIF Southern Section Ford Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SMT TV. And welcome back, everyone. Brad Memberto along with Irvin Kiger reminding you that high school basketball on SMTV is brought to you in part by Home Motors Chevrolet Cadillac, 1313 East Main Street, Santa Maria. Rock solid since 1955. Come to Home Motors and test drive the world's first mass-produced electric vehicle. That is the Chevrolet Volt.
And Brad, you mentioned earlier that third quarter was very, very dire for St. Joe's. They came out and outscored Sarah
16-10 in that third quarter.
That was a big, big quarter for St. Joe's.
And they will inbound to start the fourth quarter now with a 5-point lead. Bagnuda has it. Gives it to Madrigal, who's posted up. Now she steps out. Back to Beebe, a pass underneath to Dunlap. And loose ball is fought for. And it's going to be controlled eventually by Sarah. And standing out of bounds when she controlled it was Varon. So St. Joe would not give up on that ball.
9 seconds on the shot clock, as nobody had possession after that pass from Beebe.
So 9 seconds on the shot clock. Dunlop will inbound. Bounces it into Madrigal. Beebe post up, puts it hard off the glass. She's fouled.
And that's on Collins, and Collins, that's going to be her third foul.
And it'll be imperative for either team now to make sure they can win this game and hold on. They're going to have to make their free throws here in the fourth quarter.
You're absolutely right, Brad.
Beebe was 17 right now. Quickly puts up her 18th point.
What I really like about her so much is, and we've talked about this time and again, is that when she gets the ball down deep, she keeps the ball high.
All right, the Sarah fans now getting into it as Beebe misses the second free throw. Collins pulls down the rebound. St. Joe with a 6-point lead, 44-38 here in the final quarter. Ball is tipped around, and they're going to call a foul on Beebe. Wow. And that's Beebe's fourth foul with 7:26 left in this fourth quarter.
And correct me if I'm wrong, she had none at halftime, correct?
None at halftime. Beebe has to come out now, and Ritchie's going to have to come up with her best quarter ever.
You're right that, but the other four players are going to have to pick it up offensively. They're going to have to look for other options. And what do you wait till it's about 4 minutes to go before you put Beebe back in?
Probably at least. Varon makes her first free throw of the night. She's now 1 of 4. We said it's key to make them here in this fourth quarter. Second shot. Takes her time and puts it up and in. So Richardson comes back into the ball game. She was on the bench for a long time after picking up her fourth foul. Full court pressure. And Dunlop will inbound it to Ritchie. Flowers into the front court. Who's going to pick it up offensively now? Will it be Madrigal who gets underneath? She puts it up, no good. Rebound is bounced around, controlled by Ritchie. And I think she said she was out of bounds when she pushed the ball.
Yeah.
So with 7:11 on the clock. St. Joe holding on to a precarious 4-point lead. Richardson has it in the front court. Stops her dribble. They'll work around the perimeter. Now they're going to post up underneath. Shot is thrown up, no good. And the offensive rebound goes right to number 23, Haley. And it's now a 2-point lead. Dunlop gets it. She goes up and she is fouled.
On that last play, St. Joe's went up. They had the ball, but they did not bring it down with two hands, and that's what hurt.
So Dunlop goes to the free throw line, and she's not a terrific free throw shooter.
Varen just picked up her fourth foul. Varen, who's 6'2" for Sarah, averaging 11.3 points a game, 10 rebounds.
And Ed Torres is bringing Ali Beebe back after this free throw.
Her and Kelsey English both. Don't they both have 4 fouls?
Correct. Dunlop makes the first one. So Beebe comes in. English comes in.
English and Flowers both played well. I'm sorry, Ritchie and Flowers.
Dunlop, second free throw attempt is good.
Tatiana Dunlap is actually the best free thrower on St. Joe's this year, averaging 72% from the line.
They're calling a foul on that one. Beebe stopped. Beebe stopped and let her go by, and she just fouled out.
Foul charge number 35, Allison Beebe.
Wow. So Beebe fouls out. They're going to discuss this. There's no way. Come on. Yep. So fifth foul on Ali Beebe. Fouls out at 6:39 left in this game.
That was a horrible call. Allison's beside herself.
Wow. Sierra Thompson was driving in. And Beebe saw her coming and couldn't pick up a foul, so she stepped aside. How do you step aside? You get a foul for not playing defense? As Thompson makes the first free throw. 6:39 on the clock. St. Joe with a 3-point lead and no Allison Beebe. Both free throws are good.
And a 2-point lead.
And English throws it away. Beebe ends the game with 18 points and 15 rebounds. And St. Joe's going to have to win their third CIF championship without her. Sierra Thompson with the ball on the near side. They're looking to post up. She's double teamed, then they give it back out. Thompson, a three-pointer, count it. And Sarah leads 47-46. Dunlop, she drives right by the defender and lays it in.
Nice play by Tatiana.
You got to go against Richardson. Richardson, who has 4 fouls. And in the front court, Richardson will drive, and she traveled. Offensive rebound, up and in.
You got to go right at Varen, too. She's got 4 fouls. She's the one that just put the ball back up for Sarah.
Sarah leads 49-48. English has it out on the near side. She stops her dribble.
Not getting any help. Nobody's
moving.
moving.
Dunlop, who's moving underneath the basket, misses. The rebound is controlled by Dunlop, who gives it back to English. Good hustle by Tatiana. Here comes a three-point shot from up front, no good, and a foul.
Where?
That's a foul underneath, and I think the referees might have called it against Richardson. And Richardson just fouled out. Nope. Nope. Let's see who they gave it. Oh, Sierra Thompson called for the foul. That's only her first. If you're keeping it official, that's her first foul. And Sarah calls a timeout with 5:21 on the clock. Sarah leading by a score of 49-48 here in the fourth quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're watching the CIF Southern Section Forward Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SMT TV. High school basketball on SMT TV is brought to you in part by BMW of Santa Maria, 2150 South College. Their phone number is 614-0306. That's BMW of Santa Maria, your Highline dealer on the Central Coast.
Madrigal will be at the line for St. Joe's, shooting a 1-on-1.
So far, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. First one's good, and we're tied.
That first one's always the hardest one to make, though, isn't it?
Sure is. 5:21 on the clock. Second one is no good. Rebound taken by Viren. In the front court is Sierra Thompson. Just hit a 3 from that spot. She passed it. A great move underneath and a foul. Heather Madrigal picks up her fourth.
Charge number 24, Heather Madrigal.
And that'll send Haley to the free throw line. Nice first move for Haley.
10th team foul.
She's 1 of 4 so far on the free throw line, and it's 2 free throws the rest of the night for Sarah. 1 of 4 from the free throw line so far. Takes her time, puts it up, no good. 5:11 on the clock.
Flowers returns for the Knights.
Richie out, they bring in Flowers, so they're definitely going smaller, St. Joe is.
Yeah.
Flowers more of a guard, Richie more of a forward. It's going to be up to Madrigal and Dunlop now to get those rebounds. Second free throw by Haley is up and good. So that gives Sarah the lead once again, 50-49. English in the backcourt. She'll get it up to Madrigal. Bagnuda. Back to Flowers. It's working around the perimeter, trying to find someone open underneath.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
Madrigal, she'll go in, put up a little too hard off the glass, gets an offensive
The
rebound.
ball has
misses
not
it.
hit the rim.
Puts it up again, gets another offensive rebound, and finally gets it in on the third try. Madrigal would not give up on that one, giving St. Joe the lead once again.
That's one thing I've always liked about that young lady.
Three-pointer by Thompson. You can't give Sierra Thompson an open shot out there. And it's now a 2-point Sarah lead. With the ball is Flowers. Madrigal at the corner of the key. She'll shoot from there. Rolls around, no good. Nobody to rebound. So Varon gets it. And with 4 minutes left, Richardson almost loses the ball. And now it's going to be a jump. And it's a possession to Sarah.
Ed Torres asking how come they didn't call her for kicking the ball.
4:01 on the clock here. 4:01. Sarah leading 53-51. 21 seconds on their shot clock. They'll inbound and take a 3. No good, but a rebound by Viren. And they throw it away underneath. Knocked out of bounds by St. Joe. So Richardson will inbound the ball. 3:54 on the clock. Richardson gets it in. It's tipped around and stolen by Madrigal. She gives it to English, but it's stolen away.
Yeah, you got to get the ball and just hold on to it and set it up.
Driving in, no good. Another offensive rebound, and Varon's right there. 3:35 on the clock, 55-51, a 4-point lead by Sarah. Bagnuda giving it to Madrigal underneath. Flowers drives in, loses the ball, but controls it. And they give it back out to Bagnuda. 10 on the shot clock, and a foul.
And that's Varon's 5th.
And that is huge because she had a big presence and advantage underneath the basket. And Rayshawn is going to foul out.
That is her 5th personal foul. 8 team foul.
12 points, 7 rebounds.
So Dunlap will go to the line with a 1-on-1.
And the best rebounder for Sarah is out. So both of the big girls are out of the game now. Beebe on St. Joe's side, Varon on the Sarah side. And Coach Hadley will bring in Haley again, who's been playing pretty well herself.
Returning to the Cavaliers in 23, Kayla Haley. Substitution for Rajon Barrett.
So Dunlop, 2 for 2 from the free throw line so far. 10 points. Make it 11. .316 on the clock. A 3-point lead for Sarah.
Dunlap has been perfect at the line tonight, I believe, right?
3 for 3. Set up for her second shot. And that's good. So 3:13 on moving on the clock. 55-53. Sarah leads here in the fourth quarter. The 3AA championship. Richardson puts up a shot from the baseline, rolls around the rim, no good. And it's knocked out of bounds off of Madrigal.
It looked to me like Collins went up over her and knocked it out, but hey, I'm high on the western side.
Yeah, we really can't tell from way up here.
This is one set play that Sarah's really had some problems with the exception of that one particular time. English lost her opponent, and the opponent goes in for an easy layup.
Simone Thompson gets the layup. Dunlop goes underneath, and she answers back.
And timeout. Full timeout by Ed Torres and the St. Joseph Knights.
With 2:47 left here in this fourth quarter, it is now Sarah 57, St. Joseph 55. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is the CIF Southern Section 4 Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SantaMariaTimes.com. Just a reminder, this webcast for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the sounds, pictures, or descriptions of tonight's game without the express written consent of Lee Central Coast Newspapers Incorporated and the CIF Southern Section is strictly forbidden. Brad Memberto along with Irvin Kiger. Sarah leading St. Joseph right now 57-55. It'll be Sarah's ball with 2:47 on the clock. The two big girls, Regine Varon for Sarah and Allie Beebe for St. Joseph, have fouled out of the game.
Yeah, that's true, but I believe that Beebe's presence is worth more to St. Joe's than Varon's is to Sarah.
I agree. Jared Thompson drives in and puts it off the glass. 10 points in the fourth quarter, and it's now a 4-point lead. Bagnuda gives it to Madrigal. Double teamed at the free throw line. Gives it to English. Need a couple threes from Bagnuda and English. You're not going to get one from Tatiana Dunlop at that point. With 2 minutes left in the game and St. Joe down by 4, this is a big defensive stop here.
You're right, and they've got to stop ball.
Nice first move by Haley. She puts it up no good. The rebound is pulled down, and it's going to be a jump ball going to St. Joe. St. Joe got a break there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I felt that Haley actually had possession a bit better than Flowers, but they called it a quick jump ball. St. Joe's, as you said, got possession.
Bagnudo bringing it in the front court. Under 2 minutes. St. Joe down by 4. Trying to set up the offense now. Give it to English. Bagnudo hit that three. No. Rebound is up and taken by Haley.
And the Achilles heel for St. Joe's all night has been on the boards, Brad, both ends.
They have not been able to make a three-point shot all night as well.
That's correct.
120 and counting. 59-55. Sierra Thompson with the ball.
Every time down the court now, you need to stop Sarah.
Travel by Bria Richardson. But after these last two stops, they got to get some points. And a timeout going to be called by Mackenzie Hadley for Sierra. 1:14 on the clock, 59-55, Sarah leads. Just a reminder that our major sponsorship of high school basketball on SMT TV provided by Marion Medical Center, Inspired Healthcare, then, now, always. And don't forget, there's lots of exciting action coming up this year on SMT TV. For more information on how your business can advertise on our webcast throughout the year, contact Sarah Edwards at number 739-2150. Well, there, 1:14 left. You got the ball. You're down by 4. And you have no presence inside for rebounding right now.
Well, you know, they've moved the ball well down on the offensive end when ball's been going through Madrigal's hands. And I think you need to continue that because she is going to give you a bit better presence on the boards than anybody else, perhaps with the exception of Tatiana Dunlap. On the defensive end, both of you have to hit the boards. There's still plenty of time left, Brad.
English brings the ball in the front court with 1:07 on the clock. And Dunlap throws it away and a foul by Bagnuta.
And it'll be a 2-shot foul at the other end.
Bagnuta called for her third. And Richardson will go to the free throw line. She's not scored in the second half. Had 5 points in the first half. Was 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Now she's shooting 2. If St. Joe's going to foul anybody, I guess that would be the one to foul right now.
No, I agree with you.
This is the first one.
1 minute and 3 left. 4-point lead for Sarah.
Whether she makes this or not, it's still a 2-possession game. But they got to make stops, and she makes the second free throw. So now St. Joe's going to have to get the ball up a little faster. English gives it to Bagnuta. She is fouled.
Well, they called a jump ball.
Wow. I mean, a couple of questionable calls that have gone for Sarah. That's one of them.
You talked to Diamond Bar about that.
Yeah. Sierra Thompson in the backcourt. She gets it in the front court. Bagnuta fouls her. You got a fouler now with 51.9 on the clock. Sierra Thompson, 10 points here in this fourth quarter. Has 22 in the game and is 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And she's shooting 2 here. 51.9. Makes the first one.
Galloway coming in. Galloway is one of their 3-point shooters for St. Joe's.
A 6-point lead right now. That's a couple 3-pointers. This would make it 3 possessions with 51.9 left.
Nice
she's
form.
Been perfect from the free throw line all night long. Kelsey English will get in the front court, and Sarah is guarding 3-point land. Pass underneath, and a foul underneath. If St. Joe's going to shoot free throws with no time taken off, that'll be good.
If you can score without the clock moving, then you're doing it well.
Well, Madrigal will have to make the first of the 2 free throws on the 1-on-1. So Heather Madrigal steps to the free throw line. 3 of 6 so far. And she misses. Rebound taken by Thompson, and time's running out here for St. Joseph. This is not the person you want to foul, and Sarah knows that, so they're going to keep her with the ball. Timeout called by Sarah with 33.1 on the clock. 62-55, Sarah leading. And I tell you what, it wasn't, St. Joe losing Beebe was huge.
Oh, big time. Big time.
And as you said, when Sarah lost Varon, it wasn't as big because they have been rebounding very well underneath the basket all night long. The Sierra Cavaliers have done.
But just the presence of Beebe on the court, it forced Sarah defensively to really collapse on her. And if she was in right now and St. Joe's is behind by what they are, there would be plenty of opportunities for 3-point shots. But as it stands right now, they're going to push it out, and if they're going to give up any points, it's going to be 2-pointers.
Exactly. And with the score 62-55 right now, And if St. Joe has to foul, that's
well, the right person's taking it out, Haley, because she's the worst free thrower on Sarah's team. And they get the ball into the best.
And they have to foul her. And like I said, she's 5 for 5 from the free throw line. And she has had a great night. So Brianna Bagnuda fouls out with 31.1. Oh. Wait a minute. Someone who fouled out didn't foul out. This sounds familiar. Flowers was called for the foul, not Bagnuda. So shooting 2 is Sierra Thompson. That's her 13th point, Irvin, of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, of just the fourth quarter alone. She's the difference in the game right now, isn't she?
25 points in the game. Second free throw is up, and that's good.
She has really nice form at the free throw line.
Now a 9-point lead with under 30 seconds. St. Joe's going to just have to come down and shoot threes. Bagnuda's going to shoot a long 3, and it's good.
The first one of the night for St. Joe's, and a timeout by Ed Torres. 23.1 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
23.1. They're down 58-64. I want to thank all of our sponsors throughout the season, and especially Marion Medical Center. They have been our major sponsor through all of our sporting events. I want to thank Marion Medical Center, Chuck Cove, and everybody else there. Inspired Healthcare, then, now, always, Marion Medical Center. And I want to thank our other sponsors who have ridden through the playoffs with us. BMW of Santa Maria, your Highline dealer of the Central Coast. Community Volkswagen, where there's a car for everyone. Central Coast Marble and Granite. Give them a call at 598-4110. Dr. Carolyn Valdivias, Park Avenue Smiles, located at 111 East Park Avenue in Santa Maria. And Home Motors Chevrolet Cadillac at 1313 East Main Street in Santa Maria. Rock solid since 1955. 23.1, Sarah. As we said, a little controversy getting into this game, but they have been the better team tonight.
Yes, they have. They've hit the boards really well. They've played sloppily, though, offensively, where they've turned the ball over, but they've hit the boards really well, and they've been a little quicker than St. Joe's, and I think that's really told the story is the fact that they have been able to drive to the basket, and St. Joe's was not stopping the ball. And consequently, they are up by 6 points with 23 seconds to go.
And they get it into Thompson. They got to foul Thompson this time, I think. Let's see who they call a foul on this time. She was double teamed in the backcourt. Caitlin Flowers. So Flowers called for the foul. And unfortunately, and it's working great for Sarah, as they're getting the ball in the hands of Sarah Thompson.
Those 2 threes that she made the fourth quarter really, really hurt St. Joe's.
Rattles in another one. 19.4 on the clock.
27 points so far tonight.
That's right. She gets ready for her second free throw. And it's up and good. And the ball's inbounded and stolen away. And St. Joe trying to get a foul, and then Galloway gets it back. Ball is knocked out of bounds. 10.2 on the clock. 66-58 to score. St. Joe's somehow has to make 3 3-pointers here in 10 seconds.
Don't think they're going to be able to do that.
I don't think that's going to happen. Bagnuda gives it in. A long shot from English is going to be short. And to see the Sarah Cavaliers, they're going to call a foul here with 1 second left. I think they're going to let the buzzer go. She's going to stick with the foul. Let's see if they're going to shoot the fouls. I think they're going to call the game. No foul, yeah. So the final score, 66-58. Sarah Cavaliers get the victory over the St. Joseph Knights.
Not all is lost for St. Joseph. They will go to the state playoffs.
Yes, they will.
And I venture to think that they'll play better basketball than they did tonight. I thought they came out a bit on the flat side, didn't look real good at times.
So we'll take a quick timeout and we'll come back and wrap things up for you. Just a reminder, this is CIF Southern Section 4 Basketball Championships presented by Farmers Insurance on SantaMariaTimes.com.
Back at the Anaheim Arena, where Sarah has defeated St. Joe's in the championship game 66-58. They're handing out the runner-up patches to the three captains of St. Joe's, Kelsey English, Alexa Galloway, and Brognuda. And they will take those patches back, give it to the respective teammates. And, you know, St. Joe's played extremely well at times, played really sloppy at times. The same can be said for the victorious Sarah Cavaliers. But what really hurt St. Joe's is the fact that Allison Beebe, their best player on the year, had 0 fouls at halftime and fouled out with, 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter? And
6:39.
6:39. And from then, unfortunately for St. Joe's, it went downhill. They're now handing out the patches, the championship patches, to all of the Sarah Cavaliers.
All right, let's go over the final scoring. It was Sierra Thompson with 28 points. And most of those came in the fourth quarter. 12 points for Regine Varon, 8 Simone Thompson, 6 points each from Bria Richardson, from Kayla Haley, and from Nicole Collins. For the St. Joseph Knights, 18 points for Allie Beebe before she fouled out. Tatiana Dunlop stepped up and had 14 points in the game. Heather Madrigal with 11. 7 points from Caitlin Flowers, 5 from Brianna Bagnuda, and 3 from Kelsey English. In that fourth quarter, Sarah outscored St. Joseph by a score of 28-15, the win by the final score of 66-58. As you say, it was a little tough for St. Joe in that first quarter. They rebounded a little bit and had a lead, a 5-point lead in the third quarter. But when Allie Beebe fouled out with 6:39 on a questionable foul, as she stepped aside, that really changed the scope of the game. And with St. Joe having to foul at the end, they had to foul Sierra Thompson, who made a total of 8 free throws in that fourth quarter.
I mean, the final score, 66-58, Brad, it was a closer score than that. The 8 points does not dictate the difference in the game. I thought St. Joe's certainly, when they came back and went ahead by 5 points, I thought that they were really going to pull this out. Unfortunately for them, when they lost Allison Beebe, it became pretty tough for them to do such.
So once again, the final score in our CIF championship game is Sarah Cavaliers 66, the St. Joseph Knights 58. The executive producer of SMT TV is Cynthia Schur. Tonight's game was produced by Elliot Stern. Webcast was directed by Jose Aquino. Our cameraman was Braxton Carroll. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in all season long. And we'll check out and see what happens next week as far as the state playoffs. They're coming up next week. Check with the Santa Maria Times in the next couple days and give you an idea of what kind of coverage we will have here on SantaMariaTimes.com. So for Braxton and for Jose, also for my partner Irvin Kiger, thank you. Great job again this year. This is Brad Memberto saying so long, everyone, and see you next time.